Now for our second class, we're going to talk about the bidding as the responder to a one of a suit opener. But before we do that, I thought we'd just talk a little bit more generally about bidding and what the function of the bidding really is. So come with me. Now there are really two main purposes of the bidding. And the first one is trying to find a trump fit with your partner, a match. And experience has proved that 8 out of the 13 cards in a particular suit is sufficient to make that suit the trump suit for the partnership. And it could be split 4 cards in each hand, or 5 cards in one hand and 3 cards in the other hand, or 6 cards in one hand and 2 cards in the other hand. So bear that in mind. 8 cards between the partnership make a fit. Now, that's really the first goal of the bidding. Second goal of the bidding, once the fit has been found, is to assess how many tricks to go for and whether or not to go for game. Now, let's just remind ourselves of the scoring in the game of bridge. Clubs and diamonds, the two minor suits, each score at 20 points a trick. And so to get game is 100 points, you need to bid and make 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, quite a tall order. Hearts and spades, the two major suits, they score at 30 points a trick, so 4 hearts and 4 spades will get you to the 100 points for game. And no trumps, because the first no trump scores at 40, even though subsequent no trumps revert to 30, you only need to bid 3 no trumps to score game. So, just to review, the first goal of the bidding is to try to find a fit, 8 cards between the partnership, and the second goal of the bidding is to see whether or not they can go for game. Good. Now we're going to have a look at some responding hands and explore all the possibilities. So let us say that Guy has opened the bidding 1 spade. So now the question is, what do we think that Cheryl should bid? Let's think about those two goals of the bidding. First of all, to try to find a fit. Now, Guy's opened the bidding 1 spade, so he must have at least 4 cards in spades. Cheryl has 4 cards in spades, and 4 and 4 make the fit. So now the next question that Cheryl faces is, can the partnership go for game? Now, Cheryl has 13 points in her hand. She knows that Guy has opened the bidding and therefore has at least 12 points, and 12 and 13 give 25. Now, 25 is a very important number because experience has proved that, at any rate for the 3 games that require fewer tricks, that's 3 no trumps, 4 hearts and 4 spades, that 25 partnership points is sufficient to attempt one of those games. So what do we think that Cheryl should bid? Well, the answer is that Cheryl can go straight to 4 spades. Perfect. And that's a game bid in spades that one would expect to make most of the time. Good. Now let me make Cheryl's hand weaker. Now, again, Guy opens the bidding 1 spade. Does Cheryl have to bid at all? She's only got 6 points. It's not a very good hand. If there was no chance of having the 25 points for game, then Cheryl would just leave it. However, when Guy opens 1 spade, although he may have as few as just 12 points, he may have as many as 19. If he had a 20th point, he would open at the level of 2. But he could have 19 points, and 19 plus 6 makes 25. And so, because game is still in the picture, Cheryl should reply. And that is essentially a rule. If you have 6 or more points and your partner opens the bidding, you must respond to your partner. If your partner opens the bidding 1 of a suit, that is. Good. Now, what do we think Cheryl should bid? The message she'd like to give to Guy is that she's got a relatively weak hand, but that she does like her partner's spades. With 4 card support for spades, she knows that they have a fit. So the bid that expresses those feelings is 2 spades. That's the fewest spades that she can bid, so it shows that she's only just got sort of 6, 7, 8, something like that, points, and support for partners' spades. Now, it's always nice to have 4 cards to raise your partner's 1 spade to 2 spades, but there will be occasions, such as here, where it's still correct to support your partner's spades with just 3 cards. But it's worth stressing here that whereas a single major suit raise, 1 spade, 2 spades, is consistent with just having 3 cards, provided they're reasonable ones as here, a jump raise, 1 spade, 3 spades, or 1 spade, 4 spades, must contain at least 4 cards. A bid of 1 spade, 3 spades says, partner, we have a guarantee of 8 cards in spades. A bid of 1 spade, 2 spades says, partner, I have 3 or 4 spades. And partner, if you're looking for a game and you've only got 4 spades in your hand, you can't absolutely rely on me for 4, so you better perhaps test the waters somewhere else, perhaps by bidding no trumps or something. Good. Now, let's make Cheryl's hand stronger. Now, what do we think that Cheryl might do this time? She's got a good hand. She knows spades are trumps. She hasn't quite got enough to go straight to 4 spades, however, because with 11 points facing a partner who may only have 12, game values may not quite be there. There may not quite be 25 points between the partnership. But nonetheless, Cheryl wants to encourage her partner to go on to game should her partner have just a little bit more than a minimum. And so the solution for Cheryl with this hand is to jump to 3 spades. Good. That's a strongly invitational to game bid. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to more formally collate what we've learned about how strong you have to be to bid particular numbers in support of your partner's opened suit. The responder's support line. How strong a hand do you have to bid particular numbers in support of your partner's opening? Now you see here, with less than 6 points, you pass, even if you have got 4 or more cards with your partner. I suppose if you have a really good supporting hand, you might borrow a point if you had sort of 5 points and scratch up a raise to 2 in support of your partner. With 6 to 9 points, you would raise from partner's 1 level opener to 2. 10 to 12 points, 1 here, 1 spade, 3 spades, and with 13 or more points, that's enough to go straight to game. 1 spade, 4 spades, provided, of course, that you have the 4 cards in support for your partner. Now, this is a good guide, but be prepared to upgrade your hand if you have an interesting distribution. I'm not going to be recommending that we add on points for length and shortage, but do be aware when you're supporting your partner that having side suits which are very short can be a huge asset to partner. And approximately speaking, a singleton in a side suit is worth about 3 points, and a void, no cards at all, in a side suit is worth about 5 points. So don't be a slave. Don't merely count your high card points when you're deciding how many to bid in support of your partner. Look at the shape of your hand as well. So let's return to the table now. Now, if Cheryl had this hand, 11 high card points, 4 card support for partner spade, but crucially with a singleton in hearts, she should mentally upgrade her hand, and rather than bid 3 spades, which would show between